Hi, I'm Steve Goff from the Washington Post. What would you like to see tomorrow in the last tune-up that maybe you didn't see the other day in New Jersey?
Good question. Never a single simple answer though, I'm afraid. But of course, knowing the amount of possession the team had in the last game, the amount of control the team had, it's doing more with it. That's what I want to see, particularly in the final third. But we will face a different threat tomorrow, a different challenge. So adapting to that and just keep building the connections between each other. They're the main things.
Donald up front here.
Good afternoon, Donald Wine, Stars and Stripes at Sea. I will also welcome you to the District of Columbia. Sorry we turned the furnace on for you, a little extra high. But, of course, tomorrow, record heat. How does it affect your rotations maybe, or maybe how you approach the game tomorrow night?
Oh, it's perfect preparation for Marseille. It's pretty hot down there, so this is a great opportunity for us to, experience what we're going to face. So for me, that's added value. As I said, just build on the stuff we've already started and try to maximise the opportunities for as many players to play at some point in the game.
Henry. G, then John.
Hey, I'm Henry Bushnell from Yahoo Sports. Kind of building on that last question, as you plan for the Olympics, potentially a lot of games in a short amount of time, have you sketched out lineup rotations in the second, third group game at all, or is that the type of thing where you decide the lineup for the second game after the first game and kind of take it game by game?
Yeah, I mean, you've got to win the first game first, so no, I would never ever do that. Simply because you have to go one game at a time. Of course, got experience of managing multiple games in quick succession, but our aim is to come through tomorrow with even more improvements to our play. And then when we get to Marseille, we have a block of more training, which will be great to get us prepared for the opening game in Zambia, and then we'll go from there.
Jonathan.
Thanks, Aaron. Back. Hey, Jonathan Tannenwald of the Philadelphia Inquirer. To the point that you just made about wanting to be a little more clinical tomorrow, obviously we talked about it on Saturday Summit at some length. When you watched the film back after that game, since you had only talked to us in obviously the moment at that point, were there some certain things that you saw that you said to the players, hey, this is a little something more to focus on?
Yeah, of course. They've all been coached. We've had review. We had reviewed the first 60 minutes and the tactical changes that were made within it. Then we reviewed the last 30 with more, personnel changes. Then reviewed everything in our restarts that matter most to us, and then small group work. So we've given little pointers on things that can make a difference, whether that be positioning, whether that be movements, whether that be situations where we don't have numerical superiority. Could we have a technical advantage? What our dynamic rotations are in the right moments, like a lot of good stuff, but we can only chunk information a little bit at a time, so just keep making steps in the right direction. That's all I ask.
Up front here.
Damon Brooks, Monumental Sports. Coach, it's obvious that this team, is without several experienced players who are not on this year's team. Who is taking a leadership role during this, this year's camp as you get ready for the Olympics?
Well, beyond Lindsay, I think, is doing a tremendous job. Her communication's been excellent. It really has. Can see being here before and, sharing that wisdom. But there are lots of senior players in this side that I look towards. I don't think it's just one or another. As I said, there might be some that might be more vocal leaders, and some that are less. But I actually think there is a quiet leadership within that group that you can see they are taking on their responsibilities, and it's the job of the whole team, not just one individual. So everybody, we're starting to step forward in different ways. We're starting to, I think, build trust in the right ways internally. And as a result of that, we're just working on fine-tuning everything every day.
Hi, Coach Heather McDonough, NBC4. How happy are you, I guess, that's a better way to put it, just that it's finally getting to this point where the Olympics after tomorrow, I know you're concentrating on tomorrow, but is the next thing, like the culmination? How happy are you to finally kind of have that light at the end of the tunnel on where you're going?
I think you spend so much time wishing time away in life. Not for me. I'm my message to the team is the same for myself, which is be as present as possible. And especially this man, he reminded me he served 8 head coaches prior to me. How important it is to be present, how important it is to have joy, and how important it is to have perspective, right, Hyfe?
Yeah, absolutely.
And for us, all of those things really matter. And it's not about, I don't want to wish it away. I want to enjoy it, but also make sure we're as prepared as we possibly can by taking it one step at a time.
Real quick, and speaking of joy, a lot of happy fans in DC are going to get to see the Washington Spirit players. You've also got Emily Fox from nearby Virginia. I know you're focused on game planning, but how nice is it when these players get to play in front of their home crowd and when you witness that?
Yeah, no, I love that part. I won't lie. I'm enjoying watching players in their sort of host regions. So that will be good to see that for them. I was telling my family this about the crowd at the weekend, is that it's, how do I best put it, in England, so it can be sort of quite tribal. Here it's fanatical in a different way, but I think it's such a great party atmosphere in the stadiums. I love the drums. I won't lie, they keep me an even keel during the game, and I love the atmosphere the crowd create. I really do. It's very, very different culturally, but one that I'm really enjoying.
Steph, right there.
Hi, Coach Steph Young from The Athletic. Casey Krueger is an athlete she's been in and out of the national team. She's had her ups and downs with injuries. At the same time, feels like she's been a tremendously steady presence, especially at the club level. When I was talking to her, in the midst of her athlete brain of saying, like, oh, I can always be better, she did admit that one thing she thinks she's improved at is adding to her attacking game, so important for a modern fullback. I'm just wondering what you're seeing from her and, what your feeling is from her in terms of being ready, especially being named directly to the roster and not coming in as an alternate.
Well, my short experiences with Casey is what a tremendous mum, first and foremost. She's having to manage being a mum in camp as well as a footballer. She's so coachable, even, for someone with such experience, so coachable, so open. And I said to her the other day that I took the decision to put Emily Sonnet in that position because I actually wanted to see 3 centre-backs as opposed to a full-back coming in. But I explained that to her after the game. But she is someone, she's calm. She's calm, she's experienced, she adds a lot of qualities. Her short passing game is very good. And I think she will play an important part in this team as the tournament progresses. And I'm pretty certain all those experiences for her have positioned her not only to be in the 18, but to thrive in the 18. So I'm looking forward to that for her.
All right, we'll take a couple. Go ahead.
Emma, you mentioned Chris Pumbaka from USA Today. You mentioned the tribal part of England and then fanatical in the US. Are there other things that you have started to learn about the way that the game is viewed here that you maybe didn't know until you got into the job?
You know what? I haven't been outside of the bubble of it enough yet, and I really struggle to set up my technology. So I'm unable at any point to access any news sources or anything else on my new technology because I don't know how to do it.
It's probably a good thing.
I keep making many, many mistakes. So I don't hear anything outside of the bubble, which is fantastic for me. I've said this 1,000 times. Like, my mum's here with me this week, and I think she'd like me to be a bit more homesick that, but I love being in America. I really do, and I love everything that comes with it. So I'm just embracing coming back to a soccer culture that has developed since my time here, whether that's the quality of the stadiums that feel more European-like to the atmosphere within stadiums. Like, as I said, I've been really, really impressed, and hopefully, I keep saying to the players, like, we're here to entertain the crowd. Yes, we're here to win, but we are here to entertain, and goes in both directions. The roar when we score a goal is something I particularly enjoy, but no, I'm enjoying the whole thing, to be honest.
Well, we got another full stadium tomorrow. Tweet that, Goff. Let's go online to Ella Brockway. Go ahead, Ella.
Hi, Emma. Thanks for being here. Ella Brockway from the Washington Post. Croy Bethune made her debut on Saturday. Was hoping you could speak a little bit about her as a player and maybe more broadly your desire to get some of these younger players the caps and just the experience as they're able.
I mean, Croy is talented, without doubt. I've been watching her NWSL play, and her ability to arrive into key areas in the right moments is not taught. She's got great balance, she's got great poise, she's goal threat, she's really quiet character, but someone who cares deeply about all of the things, all the processes to be able to perform at the level she is. Extremely mature. She's an old soul. I told her that the other day. Right?
Yeah.
An old soul. Someone who doesn't miss a single step to put herself in the best place to perform. And in any and every situation, she holds herself, to the highest of standards. In fact, sometimes I think she's a little too hard on herself. But I'm really looking forward to developing Croy, because I think she's a special talent.
Let's go to Andrew Jones. Go ahead, Andrew.
Thanks, Aaron. Andrew Jones, the League Network. Emma, just want to talk to you. You mentioned about Emily Sonnet, center backs. You talk about how you saw Naomi and Tierney play on Saturday, how they were tidy not only in possession, but dealt with Mexico's threat, and just your thoughts on how they played.
Yeah, I mean, we did some analysis today with Naomi. Her ability to absorb tactical ideas is honestly exceptional. She's so talented. And she's starting to add different decision making into her game while in possession that I think will take her to the very, very top as a centre half. Tierney, thoughtful, quiet leader, very introspective, but so switched on, and talked about the importance of how they stay connected, and players in front and around do that. But listen, we are blessed. We've got some fabulous players, and Tierney and Naomi really building a brilliant partnership. But Sonnet, as we all know, can play in any position when required, and someone who equally adds tremendous value.
Last couple for Emma. We'll go to Kyle Bond. Go ahead, Kyle.
Thank you, guys. Emma, appreciate the time. I wanted to ask you about Mal Swanson. She seemed like she was in electric form last spring, really ready to have that global breakout of the World Cup before she got injured. Headed into the Olympics this year, do you feel like she's maybe ready to have that moment now in a major tournament? What is her ceiling?
Listen, Mal's a tremendous football player. She really is. She's someone who can play out wide, hug a touchline wide. She plays in the pockets really, really well. She plays off the 9 really well. I think she creates overloads in a very, clever way. And I've said it before, I think she could be a 9 because she finishes. And I think the important thing for Mal, as it is for any player in this team, is that it's not about individuals, that it's about the team and making sure that we position ourselves for everybody to perform, because the better we are as a collective, the better chance we have of progressing. So Mal while she has unbelievable attributes, it's important for us to give her the support around her so that she can be successful at the level we all know she can be.
Sylvia Bullock, go ahead from online.
Hi, Emma. Thanks again for joining us. I just wanted to circle back. So you mentioned the focus on the first game, obviously with Costa Rica tomorrow, but the first game against Zambia. So were you able at all to see their match against New Zealand, or will you be able to see their next match? And what have you seen from particularly Banda and Kundanaji, who have been playing against many of your players in the NWSL? Thank you.
I haven't watched the New Zealand game yet, but someone within my team has. We, of course, have done the work on Zambia over the last 12 months and prepared our strategy to play against them. I think Zambia as a whole, as opposed to just individuals, I've said it before, I think on form, Banda is the most informed striker in world football. But I think for us, we have to play our game and make it difficult for Zambia to reach the positions they want to. And so as much as I know they're a threatening team and they've got quality all over the pitch, how we set up and how we control the game are of the most important order, because that will give us the best chance of competing against outstanding individuals. So my focus is on getting that right.
Last one goes to Henry Bushnell. Go ahead, Henry.
I feel like we've danced around this question a bit. What was your experience like watching the England game yesterday?
Oh.
Sorry.
I went to a place called Across the Pond. My son sat under the table with his headphones on. I think it was a bit too noisy for him, but he roughed it out, bless him. Yeah, it was rough, to be honest with you. To have 2 Euros in a row, you know, I don't know what that feels like. So tough for England, but what an outstanding team Spain are in so many ways. Like, to be European champions on the men's side, world champions on the women's side, Champions League winners. They even won at Wimbledon in tennis yesterday. There's the importance of methodology and DNA right there. And Spain have a playing style that is better than anyone else, to be quite frank. So congratulations to them and commiserations to England.
All right, and with that, we'll get you guys in the mix zone and get you some players. Thanks, Emma.